It was an oily liquid, tasteless and odorless. It was served in these little glasses, basically your standard shot glass. At first, I experienced absolutely amazing feelings. Honestly, the walls started to pulse. Everything started to, as if all the shapes began to grin, as if all the shapes began to grin. And suddenly, it all collapsed down.
We're looking at rocks and we see some faces in them.
Really, everything, all things had completely different dimensions, kind of magical.
Eyes, 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 faces, faces, eyes, faces, faces.
A few thousandths of a milligram from a small injection ampoule, and a healthy person will experience a mental state for several hours that has so far been difficult for science to observe.
Well, it's a surprise for me to see this, because I haven't seen it in 50 years. Actually, I hadn't seen it before either.
Sit completely still. I'm going to start the tape recorder now.
When I was at the academy, I was walking up the stairs to a lecture and a production assistant approached me to ask if I wanted to act in a film. They gave me the script. The whole crew went to bone ice.
If you start to feel anything unusual, try to describe it.
We were given the LSD in liquid form. The whole crew took it. They all did. Everyone wanted to try it. Well, because they had to, right, so that the creativity would be just right. Well, that's when everything started to ripple like this. That's it. That's exactly it.
Are you feeling unwell?
Well, even the cameraman, the one who was filming, he tried it too, so he'd know what it does, what it feels like. Then one of the professors asked me to look out the window, and I saw beautiful colors. From that summer, the summer garden in Bone Ice, I really saw stunning colors. I was just reassured that it couldn't hurt me. Then one of the professors asked me to look out the window, and I saw beautiful colors. From that summer, the summer garden in Bone Ice, I really saw stunning colors. I was just reassured that it couldn't hurt me and that if I ever wanted the effect to stop, they would give me an antidote injection. And I said I didn't want it. And it was a good call because one member of the team did get the injection and he didn't feel too well afterwards.
Eyes, eyes, faces, faces.
It even seems like you can still see on that wall, you know, how it looked like there used to be a window there. Do you see the outline of it?
A blogger known as Schizophrenia recorded a video to show how he perceives the world. This is Christopher Grant. He has suffered from schizophrenia his whole life. In the video, the man walks through the forest and constantly hears strange voices. He speaks quietly and very quickly, so it's hard to understand him. On top of that, these voices don't stop for even a minute. The young man also sees strange faces that look like masks. He showed them. They appear and disappear, as if they're laughing at the man and trying to tell him something. He's filming from a first-person perspective. It looks really scary. People in the comments say that even they start to feel scared while watching this video. But just imagine that this person has to live with it his whole life. He constantly hears these sounds and sees these faces. To cope with the illness, he started blogging and now has over 1 million subscribers.
We look at rocks and see some faces in them.
And how long does psilocybin actually last?
So, around 45 minutes, between the 80th and 105th minute, we reach the peak of the experience, when it usually really intensifies. And when I say intensifies, I mean both visual changes. People actually have pretty strong hallucinations. Most of the time, it starts with the patterns on the fabrics here, which are just perfect for it. The walls and the patterns actually start to flow. In the vast majority of cases, it starts with the patterns on the fabrics here, which are just perfect for it. The walls and the patterns actually start to flow.
walls started pulsing. Everything started to, like, as if all the shapes began to grin.
In quite a lot of cases, it starts with the patterns on the fabrics here, which are just perfect for it. The walls and the patterns actually start to flow.
We look at stones and we see some faces in them.
I think that LSD is really like a powerful, big silver key that opens up wide. Well, in many ways, that extraordinary path for us. It's like when someone passes through another gate and enters a space that's connected to the cosmos.
Here we are in our room where we conduct our research with psychedelic substances like psilocybin, ketamine, or cannabis, what people call medicines. This room is a bit special because it's not a regular room.
Most of the time, it starts with the patterns on the fabrics here, which are just perfect for it. The walls and the patterns actually start to flow.
It's built like a Faraday cage, well protected so that we don't have any interference with the electroencephalogram recordings we do here. The volunteers are usually on the bed here, and we interact with them during the session. There are also ritual objects from South America or different parts of the world, decorations like the ones you see on the walls.
The walls and the patterns actually start to flow.
The walls started pulsing. Everything started to, like, as if all the shapes began to grin.
In quite a lot of cases, it starts with the patterns on the fabrics here, which are just perfect for it.
So, altogether, it creates a very comfortable atmosphere, and we spend hours here with our volunteers. We also work here with patients who have depression, for example, and they also feel very comfortable and relaxed during the sessions with ketamine that we use to treat depression.
Just a few thousandths of a milligram from a small injection ampoule, and a healthy person will experience, for several hours, a mental state that until now has been difficult for science to observe. And last but not least, a unique experience for the person who voluntarily undergoes such an experiment.
I thought I was mistaken. But everything here is starting to ripple. Even the colors seem a bit different. Does the squeaking of the tape recorder bother you too?
You're sweating. Are you feeling unwell? Do you want to stop the experiment?
No, not for now. It's incredibly interesting. Everything here is quite different. The whole room is changing colors and shapes. The whole room is changing colors and shapes.
Honestly, the walls started to pulse. Everything started to, like, as if all the shapes began to grin, as if all the shapes began to grin. And suddenly, it all collapsed down.
We're looking at rocks and we see some faces in them.
Really, everything, all things had completely different dimensions, kind of magical.
You paint, don't you? Would you like to draw something from this? But let's go back once more to the beginning of the experiment and look at it from the perspective of the person experiencing it. So, something like a world of illusions through the eyes of a camera. When you start to feel anything unusual, try to describe it.
I thought I was myself. But everything here is starting to ripple. And the colors seem a bit different too. Does the squeaking of the tape recorder bother you as well?
You're sweating. Are you feeling unwell? Do you want to stop the experiment? Run away. Focus. Why? The intense race, the rhythmic music. The race continues on. Eyes, 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 faces, faces. Palms, hands. I'll stop. No, I'll stop. Yes, quickly. Just one injection and it'll all be over. Just as we were able to artificially induce an unnatural state, we can also interrupt it by administering a few milligrams of another active substance to the brain tissue.
Hello. So yes, I actually do see the faces, and when I draw them, I'm seeing them, but I'm making an artistic depiction that's stylized, because it's hard to pin down just how one looks and the other looks, because they move in this really weird, like, flowy, multi-dimensional fashion, and so to actually pin one down and draw it accurately, I'd probably need like a mathematical program that can like twist and bend objects, which I just don't know how to do yet. And so I'm doing what I've always done, which is just drawing them freehand while I feel them. That's how I see them. I see them both when I'm drawing, when I'm not drawing, and they are more realistic. But by realistic, it's like plasmic and like morphing in and out of the air and the objects in the background. Like right there, right now, I see a face, and people with pareidolia can see that. Out of all the hallucinations I experience, there's nothing more prominent than the faces. They come out of walls, out of floors, out of texture piles that I see around, and they feel alive to me. They really feel like they're looking at me, they're laughing, they're staring, they're doing all sorts of different things. And that's why I draw them, because I'm trying to honor what I'm experiencing so that I make it less scary. A lot of people are freaked out by me, I've noticed, like, just whenever they see what I do. But the reason why I draw these faces so much is because art is a really good way to connect with yourself, whether you have schizophrenia or not, and connect with what you're experiencing others may not understand. And so I love the faces because they've helped me understand myself in a lot of different ways. So yeah. Something I experience quite often with schizophrenia is inanimate objects have personalities, or I hear voices coming from things moving.
This room is a bit special because it's not a regular room.
So like a leaf scrapes against the ground and it sounds like someone going, ugh! And I go, huh? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's just the leaf. But I hear little noises like that all throughout the day that sound like talking or sound like little mouth sounds. And when I investigate, I see it's coming from just normal stuff, but it's the way my brain is interpreting it. And so a lot of things feel personified and feel like they have like a consciousness to them. Even though I know they don't literally have a similar sentience as a human being does, there's an uncanny feeling that it does. And that experience is something that is beyond words. So yeah. Hallucinations feel real to the person experiencing it in real time. I understand logistically from going to therapy and life experience that my hallucinations aren't quote-unquote real, in the sense that they can't come and harm me in a physical way, like come out of a bush or something and attack me or whatever. But they're real in the experience of them showing up and you getting some sort of a message or some sort of a intrusive thought made into a voice that is communicating to you, and it's up to you what you want to do to that or with that. And what I do is I draw them, because in my experience, drawing hallucinations has actually made it very easier for me to exist, for me to live. And also a lot of the times they ask me to draw them, and so I just do it. And I think that's just something looping in my head going, draw, 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 and then it comes out as a voice, and then it just loops, and it's... So yeah, real to the experiencer. Hello. So the hallucinations don't exactly look like my artwork, and they don't exactly look real either, in the sense of being like fully dimensional, kind of, you know what I mean? So it's more like a plasma, or like when you see air getting bent by the heat coming off the road, it looks like a little puddle of water. It's kind of like that kind of effect, but it has eyes and nose and a mouth, and it moves around and talks to me. It's kind of like what you would see if you picture like a ghost or sleep paralysis. It's that kind of effect where it's uncanny. You look at it and you go, oh, okay, oh. So I see a lot of floating faces. I see a lot of faces in the ground, on tables and chairs, in the trees, all over the place. So to answer your question, they're not like real. They're like, oh, it's almost like a fever dream when it happens, if that makes sense. They don't exactly disappear, but they move inside and out of themselves and each other. So they kind of just like pop out and reappear. And like I said before, it's almost like in a tunnel vision where they're like on almost like a wall of my tunnel vision, and then they like kind of go away and then they come back and they move in and out of themselves like that. So they're kind of just like, they're always there. But even when I don't see them, they're still there. Like, they're just kind of more invisible, or I'm focused on a task and I'm not really looking at where they are. So yeah.
Hey guys, Exorad Magical, 23-year-old dude with schizophrenia, and I wanted to talk about how I deal with paranoia. So sometimes it's late at night, or it's even the middle of the day, and windows, just fucking windows, man. I always think something's gonna like... And half the time, I see something out the window that other people don't see, and it's usually a face, or a demon face, or a creature that's like And I just kind of have to sit there and be like, okay, well, cool. But, like, that's not the only thing I see when I get paranoid. When I get paranoid, I see these shadow things going across. And the vision, like, the spots in my eyes kind of, like, morph into these other things. And faces start coming out of the walls and stuff. It's interesting. And I don't know if other people deal with this. But if you deal with this, please, like, comment your experiences. Have a great day. Exorad Magical. Hey, guys, it's Exorad Magical. I'm a 23-year-old schizophrenic dude dealing with bipolar on top of that. So I'm manic. I see faces everywhere. I see them whispering at me through the vents all over the place. And I just want to address that even though it's classified under the DSM-5 as a disease of the brain, schizophrenia is more of a telepathic experience, and it's something you can't measure with science, so that's why it continues to be a mystery to this day. But because I have schizophrenia, I can draw the faces I see and paint them. I'm selling some of these. I'm going to put my email in my bio so you can contact me. I got faces for days, motherfucker. This is a gift. Fuck you. Oh my god, I love my schizophrenia. Gotta bring a new attitude to it. Oh, what's that? Art made by schizophrenics? Oh my god! It's actually something interesting! Whoa!
In 1971, the remote Spanish village of Belmez became home to a truly extraordinary phenomenon. It's a mystery that followed Maria Gomez for over 3 decades.
I was cooking one day when I saw the face on the floor. But I didn't give it any attention. I had a fever then, and thought that must have been the reason why I saw this strange face. I didn't take it seriously at all.
But it wasn't Maria's fever. A few days later, the face returned.
Wherever you stood, the face watched you. It almost seemed like it was moving its eyes.
Alerted by the press, visitors and scientists swarmed in from around the globe. Investigations discovered that Maria's house was built on a graveyard, and directly beneath the image of the face, human remains were discovered. The floor was replaced, and even more faces appeared. Nobody could find an explanation.
Even the scientific researchers were here from Madrid. For 10 days they searched here with their tools and equipment and tried to find something. Before they left, I asked them if they could tell me what they had discovered. They told me, "No one can discover the truth here. We will die and never find out what it is." I don't know what this thing is. It's truly something amazing.
The faces were varied, some faint, some clear. And some looking very familiar. What or who was producing them? Neighbors mentioned a young man living in the village who was a skilled artist, but no connection was ever discovered. Pedro Sogrobe is a parapsychologist investigating the case. At the time of his research, he was convinced of the link between the woman and the phenomena.
We know that the faces can't appear without Maria, and we know that once Maria leaves the house, the faces fade. We also know that when Maria's psychological state is weak, if she's feeling down or tired, then the faces lose intensity.
Just like photographs, The faces go through a slow developing process. Yet no traces of chemicals or dyes had been found.
Only God knows why the faces appeared to me. Because how many other houses have the same concrete as mine, yet this hasn't happened anywhere else? Only here, in this house.
Sabemos perfectamente que las caras no se forman sin María.
The faces usually go through a weird transformation process, like a molecular formation of the dark particles in the concrete. First they form lines, and then reshape into faces.
Maria Gomez died in February 2004, aged 85. Her belief in her faces never wavered. Just before her death, she said,
I would like them to come with me. After all, they have given me so much company throughout my life. So I would like them to keep me company in the next world. So people can see that it wasn't fraud, that what happened here is real.
With her death, the faces were expected to disappear. They did something far stranger. They resurfaced in a nearby house where Maria was born. A final twist to her own ghost story.
If poltergeists and spirits and ghosts are genuine, if they really exist, they are going to revolutionize how we see the world. Hundreds of years of scientific thought will simply be wrong.